Hey guys, Lemur here. I know it's been a while since my last VoD review. I made a montage running a challenger, so feel free to check that out. I'll try to link it in the comments, but it's also my YouTube channel where you're watching this. Anyways, I just wanted to do a pretty detailed VoD review of a game I just played against TSM's Midlaner Power of Evil, which is the Kiana, and C9's Ven, which is one of the best AD carries in North America. Um, and so I didn't play particularly well this game, but I played pretty well. Like there was definitely things that I did really well, and definitely things I didn't do, as well as I'm used to. So it's going to be a pretty good game to look at. As for myself, I'm currently at 493 LP, so I'm very, very close to Challenger. I'm pretty confident I'll get it back soon. My MMR is really good. Anyways, so getting into this game, one of the things that whenever I think about the Kiana versus Ahri matchup is I used to play against a guy called O Hide on Bush O last season, and his Kiana was absurdly annoying. Like he's better than any pro player I played against that played Kiana. And so that guy like made me have to realize how hard the Kiana matchup can be if you don't play it properly. And so one of the things that that player does really well is he plays out a vision and kind of gives you no opportunity to react to her E. Um, Fortunately for me, Power Evil wasn't as good at Kiana as the Ohina Bush guy, but uh, the guy, the Ohina Bush guy, certainly is very aggressive, and so it made me have to get used to playing against an aggressive Kiana. Anyways, this game I'm going to start Doran's Ring. Generally, I'll always start Doran's Ring. The times I wouldn't start Doran's Ring are against like matchups like Syndra or Orianna, and if I took TP. If I'm taking Ignite, I'm pretty much always going Doran's Ring because I feel like a lot of the value from taking Corrupting Pot is that you can use all the stacks and then TP back and then have 3 more stacks, etc. So I think if you don't take TP, then Corrupting Pot is significantly less useful. And here we see his starting items are refillable and longsword, so he's kind of going for the greedy start where he has less sustain, but he's able to buy his serrated Dirk at 750 gold rather than saving it for 1100 gold, which will come into play later. So just something to keep in mind is like we do have the sustain advantage right now. So we can skip through here a little bit. Actually, we'll just talk about the jungle matchup. We have Urgot jungle versus Lilia. So one of the things that we need to worry about with Lilia is when she hits 6, it's actually very good into Ahri because she sleeps you, and it's not like your R can like really get you out of that unless she doesn't hit you in the first place. But if she just flash cubes, no matter what, you're getting slept. So I'd say Lilia is actually a pretty good champion to Ahri, all things considered, and she should never get hit by her E if she has stacks up. So Lilia is definitely not a jungler that I'd like to see on the enemy team. I think anything with movement speed, like Lilia, Hecarim, sometimes Rammus isn't that bad, but like Lilia and Hecarim are champions I specifically don't really like fighting in the jungle when I'm playing Ahri. Um, so yeah, it's not like she's like the end of the world. It's impossible to win, but it certainly is very hard to hit a charm on her. Alright, so the lane is starting out. So one of the things that we need to make sure that we do is since we're stronger level 1 through 3, we need to abuse that as much as we can. Because if we don't, then she's going to be full health when she hits level 3 and like get free trades on us, which is not what we want. So one thing that we can notice here is we notice that their bot lane did not leash, and our bot lane did not leash, and they know our Urgot is starting top. So those are all things to consider. One of the things that Lilia could do is she could start Raptors, or she can maybe get leashed by top and start blue. Um, I don't actually remember what she started in this game, even though I just played it, but I auto twice here just to make sure they're not all 1 HP at the same time, so I don't have to queue it. Like that, I get them all. So based on the mini map, I was watching the mini map right here. It looks like Mordekaiser went leashed. So actually, I should be looking to get a ward over here at around like 2 minutes, and I believe I don't. I believe I thought that she started Raptors, so I went ahead and warded over here. So I think that was a misplay by me, and if watching this over, I definitely should have probably warded topside, and I should have also panned my camera to see if like Mordekaiser had any missing health or like what it was looking like. Very nice trade by me. Just auto in, walk up, get my electric proc, hit both parts of Q. Very nice. So right here, I actually could be positioned up here, and I'm not. Like I should be positioned right here, and I'm not. So that's actually a pretty big mistake by me. Because even though this positioning, he's just gonna back up to here, and he's not gonna lose anything. Not like any of my creeps are gonna die. It's like I should be more confident in how I'm positioning, so I am exerting more pressure on him. For instance, if he, for some reason didn't back up, like he made the mistake and didn't back up, then I could take E and maybe look for a charm in a Q trade. Even though it's honestly not that great because I don't have electrocute up, I think in this matchup with him taking refillable, it'd actually be very good for me. So I should have already been moved up here. It's good that I move up now, but I should have already been moved up here. So that was a slight misplay by me, and I also shouldn't have missed that creep. So bit of an oopsie there. Fortunately for me, I crashed this one a little bit too fast. One of the things I could have done is if I pushed slightly slower and I didn't use Q and autos on him, then I could have gone for a cheater recall. Cheater recall is pretty free against Kiana in most ways, but I ended up pushing a little bit fast, and here I go for a fake ward where I pretend like I'm warding. But here I was like, I don't actually know where Lilia started, so I'm like not gonna ward yet, and I'm gonna pretend like I ward over here. Because if I pretend like I ward over here, I guarantee you Power Evil's a good enough player that he'll ping out that like I warded up there. So that was kind of one of the things I wanted to do, and then maybe like later go ward on the other side. So it's like I have both sides warded, but like they don't really know. So. So right here, if I wanted to, I still could actually go for a cheater recall if I just spam Q'd this wave. My Q comes up. Especially if I put 2 points into Q. I could have definitely just crashed this, but it's not even particularly that great because like what am I gonna buy? I'm gonna buy a Dark Seal, I guess, which is like pretty fine. So here I decided to go for the ward because my wave is like kind of frozen in front of his tower. Obviously I can break it, but however I'm a little bit vulnerable. And if he takes the water element and roots me and Lilia comes, I'm probably dead. So just being a little bit careful. However, this ward should have been placed over here. So in an ideal world, if I'm paying attention to top leashing, then I am warding the bot side right now. I'm trying to ward the pixel area, so that is the ideal location. However, one thing that this allows me to do is it allows me to play to the left-hand side because I know Lily is not there. So here, you could assume that I'm probably going to go for a Q harass when he goes for this creep, and it should force him to use his Q, otherwise he's taking a bit too much damage. We'll see what happens though. Nope, I don't. I think that was a mistake. Letting him last hit those two were actually. I think my idea here is I didn't know where Lilia was. Now I do. And so I was trying to let the wave come in a bit, because I was just really scared of getting ganked. Because I played. If you ever play against an assassin and you die in this position right now, and their jungler has wave clear and is able to push this next wave, it's like very devastating. It's like hard to come back at that point. So I was trying to be as careful as I could. So maybe that's kind of the reason why I wasn't pushing. So there I see Lilia. I checked her HP, or I tried to. And it looks like they're diving bot. So I don't have TP this game, so there's not really anything I can do. One of the things that happens here is whenever I push into tower, then his wave's going to grow big, and he's actually going to have an XP lead for a short amount of time. And so that's just something that I need to keep in mind. It's like I'm level 3, he's level 4. So this is actually a very good time for him to trade. So if he does go for this trade, first of all, I'm going to try to hit level 4 during it, but I want to make sure that I'm making sure my caster minions are also trading on me. So it would not be surprising if he went for a trade right now, and fortunately for me, he misses. And, I don't take much damage, but he could have played that a little bit better, and definitely gone in more aggressively. So here I briefly saw him and I didn't like realize that he was there, and I think like, yeah, I don't know. I kind of just took the damage for free, but it's not even that bad. He just like used all his mana. So there I used my Q to heal. I could have definitely gone in for another auto on him because he had no elements, so he doesn't have his. He would have to W first, and there's no way I die from this HP, and he would have used all his mana. So I definitely should have gone for another auto, and it would have procced my electrocute, or my electrocute here. So that would have pretty much pushed him out of lane completely, and if he did stay, then I can go for a kill later. He's pretty much. If I knew where the enemy jungler was right now, and that they like no one else could be here, I could kill this guy right now. Like if I literally just walk at him and auto W auto, like ignite him, he dies. But since they don't know where everyone is, and like Mordekaiser could TP or something, I need to, not be so greedy. But you can see here he knows that, so he's backing up. There I wait for the cannon to die. This is a very small thing, but pretty important. I also do another small thing here. So we'll watch both of these small little things that I do here. First of all, like I could just W this and like kill it as soon as possible. However, I want to deny this cannon in case he did stay, just to deny the XP and the gold, obviously. And then so another small thing I do is I throw out my Q and then level it up as I throw it. So it actually does the level 3 Q damage for the cost of a level 2 Q. So obviously in this case it didn't really matter because I'm already at 240 mana, but sometimes it does matter. It's pretty helpful at like level 3 when you can put 2 points in a Q and you save 10 mana. But just a small thing. Here ahead, I go and buy Amp Tome and Dark Seal. Dark Seal's a very broken item right now in my opinion, so it's pretty worth buying in most cases. And then Amp Tome, I can choose to whether I want to go into Lost Chapter or Seeker's Armguard next, depending on how the game is going. So it's a pretty flexible item. One of the things that you want to do against really like hardcore assassins, in my opinion, is instead of letting Kiana roam, which is, Kiana's a roaming champion. She's not really like the best mid laner. She's the best when she can roam bot or top or jungle. And so if you actually buy boots against her, that kind of means you're trying to roam. And if you're trying to roam, she's probably going to out roam you. And so I think going for combat stats is more effective against assassins if you can keep them in lane. If you're behind, then maybe that's like something that you can do is like to try to follow their roams or roam somewhere else. But if you can keep them in the lane, I think combat stats are significantly more important. So that's just a small note. Alright, I land the charm, land the spells, get another auto. Maybe I could have gone for another auto, but I wasn't sure what her W cooldown was. So pretty happy with how that trade panned out. What's one thing that you should always be thinking of right now? If you were watching this VoD review and you were not thinking of this, what do I need to be worried of? Alright, well if you guessed it is I'm level 5, there's a giant wave for me to catch. Giant wave. If I lose this, the game literally over for my entire team. Okay? Because the Kiana's gonna go buy Moby boots and run top and bot and just kill everyone. So if I die here, the game is literally over, and she is about to hit 6 because I'm about to hit 6, and then she's already killed more creeps than I've killed her creeps. So that's something that I should always be ready for. Is like if she flash EQ Rs me and I die, like it's game over. So I have to be ready for that if that was to happen. So I have to be ready to flash her R. I have to be ready to flash her EQ or something. And so that's why even though like I'm ahead and I'm in a pretty good spot, I'm playing back because I know that she's about to hit 6. So I hit 6 now, and I could probably have gone for a trade right here. Oh wait, yeah, I do. Yeah, I don't know why he did that. That was like brilliant. We'll play this out. I don't know why I W'd like that, but then Urga ends up autoing her or something. So we can watch this again. I was pretty perplexed on what happened here because I first of all I missed my charm terribly, but I did not expect her to go in like this. Power Reveal certainly made an interesting decision. So I hit 6 here, and I'm like, okay, if he goes in, I will just kill him. So I like didn't expect him to go in because it literally just makes no sense. And here, here I think what my idea was is that I thought like he was gonna hit 6 because like why would he go in if he's not 6? So I thought he was gonna W this way to the wall and then R me into the wall, not W this way. So that was just a misread by me because I thought he was gonna hit 6. Like maybe he like hit 6 off a creep when he was going in. So I just didn't really comprehend in my brain why he would do this. So obviously if that charm lands, I just kill him. And then here, if I just Q flash, I just kill him here. But it's not even entirely like necessary. Like just getting his flash and his ignite is very, very good for this matchup. Because in my opinion, if I can keep him mid, I literally like win the game. If Qiyana can't roam, she's honestly not a very useful champion. And then here, I'm just gonna make sure I don't die. She already used her EQ, so there's literally no spells up, and we ended up getting her. And so while it didn't matter in this case, buying the Amp Tome here was significantly more important than the boots buy I could have gone for, because I like was fighting her and I was trying to keep her in the lane. So just something to keep in mind. It's like buy items according to what you are trying to do in the game. And here, one of the things that I very avidly preach is like, I don't instantly push this wave because I can't push in time for this next one to get here. And since this next wave is getting here, I'm just last hitting and then I'm going to push with my 2 Qs the next wave. So that's something that's very, very small, but actually so important whenever you like get a kill like this where you're low and it's like kind of hard to push. It's like you don't overextend. I'm just waiting for my next Q to come up. And we are out of here. So we didn't even end up getting an assist, but you know, we denied her a lot of gold XP, we timed her flash, and everything's looking good. We still have our flash, so very nice. So I think if I had enough for Lost Chapter here, I would buy Lost Chapter, but because I didn't, I decided to go for a Seeker's buy. One thing about Seekers is you can stack it up early, and it'll provide you pretty much extra value since it's stacked up early, and so that's kind of the idea behind buying it so early. And then I wasn't going to buy a control ward, but then I saw that he saw my control ward, so I went ahead and bought one. However, if he didn't have time to kill the control ward, I think I would have just skipped out on it in this instance. But we're up like 15 to 20 CS, so and our goal currently is to keep Qiyana from roaming. That is our current goal. So I ended up missing the cannon because of her trade right there, but I ended up getting a decent trade. That was really good as well. So one thing I have to keep in mind is I believe Qiyana still has R and I don't, so I need to be slightly careful. Yep. And so I think right there is actually, it's almost better for me to use my flash than my ult there. Even though my ult wasn't available, it's kind of almost better for me to flash there. Because if I don't have my ult, I'm useless. Whereas if I don't have flash, I could still play the game. It's kind of like a weird situation. It's like sometimes your flash isn't as valuable as your ult as Ahri. Whereas like if you're playing an AD carry champion or other champions, like that's almost never the case. Flash is almost always more important than your ulti. But I think in some cases, I think it happens twice this game where I use flash and not ulti, and it was actually beneficial for me. But I don't think that's not always the case, but you know sometimes it is. And then one thing to keep in mind is I didn't notice that the Mordekaiser was roaming from top, so that was just a slight mistake from me. Even though Fiora even pinged it, I didn't think he'd actually roam all the way mid. here Urgot looks like he wants to ult here. And I think if I go in on her, it's very unlikely I hit my charm. So I didn't really feel like it, and then here I notice him leaving, so. And it kind of looks like he knows something is up with me playing so aggressive, so I decided to go in. I decided against it. If I had Ignite, I definitely would have gone in, but I think it's a very low chance I land my charm. So I think there's literally no reason, and also the bot lane just went missing. So if the play went on a little bit further, then you know, who knows what would happen. But here, since my Ignite is coming back up, I can definitely look for a kill opportunity. So notice how what we're doing here is like oftentimes people talk about when you play against assassins that you want to push and roam a bunch or something, or push them in and then they can't fight you. That's not what I'm doing here. That's the exact opposite of what I'm doing here. Is I'm actually just keeping her in lane and forcing her to have to lane against me, which is very different than pushing and roaming. Because if I push and roam here, like where am I roaming? Am I roaming bot when while my bot lane's catching the minion wave and then Kiana's gonna collapse on me? I don't know where Lily is. Am I gonna go top and have Mordekaiser ult me and die or something? Like, there's no other options for me, and Kiana will follow me wherever I go because the tower will help her kill the wave at the same time like that I'm going to be going for my roam. So we are just playing it safe. Here I ping out that Rakan warded earlier. If you noticed, I had like watched where Rakan was warding while I was walking back to lane. A very nice Q, dodge the Lilia E. We're just giving Dragon because our bot lane had a bad reset timer. Not necessarily a bad reset timer, but just an unfortunate one. Here I'm thinking if the Kiana goes for like a last hit on this minion, like super close, then I can go for a charm and then I kill, but she doesn't, so I end up staying. We see Lilia bot. Fiora's TPing, and so here's where I start to push. Here's when I start to push. This is when there's actually like a play that they're ready to happen. So one of the things that we know is there's a control ward they have in the pixel bush. We saw it earlier. And so now when there's a play going on is I can push and try to go to this fight. And I'll be there before Kiana because I've had lane pressure and because I'm stronger than her. Well done by her. One of the things I could also do is I could run and catch top here. Potentially that might actually be the correct play because my Fiora TP down, but I think in this case it wasn't necessarily 100% correct because our Fiora is able to recall instantly, but maybe I should have gone top. Like if Fiora wasn't able to recall instantly, then we would lose this entire wave to top, or like we are going to lose the entire wave, but yeah, I think maybe I should have gone top there. Okay, she just fucking dies. By the way, in case you don't know, Power Reveal's the only LCS player that plays Ahri, so I think it's pretty cool that I played against him twice in the past few weeks, and I won both times, but he definitely like knows. He definitely knows some things about Ahri. Like he knows more than other people. It feels like, at least when I play against him. But here, like he just went in because he was frustrated. So here he knew that my W was on cooldown, and so he went in. But and then here, obviously, I go for this R. And it gives him an easy, like, oh my god, I can just R this Ahri into the wall. That's like the idea that he has. But obviously, like, I'm just gonna read it. And, like, I give him this opportunity on purpose, and then I just R to dodge it. That's kind of the idea. So notice how he moves to the side even more to try to get the R into the wall. But that was very intentionally done by me, is what I'm like saying. Like that was not an accident. That was like I R to the wall and then I R to dodge it. It's very minute, but that's also something that you could do against like a Zir R as well. Is like you kind of give them a good R, then R away. But have just enough mana to get the kill there. So very happy about that one. Nice solo kill. And yeah, that was really nice. We get his ignite and his ult, I believe. I think he ignited. Don't remember. But have a really good buy. And so we don't buy boots again, even though we could, because I'm trying to stay in lane. And you'll see I make the mistake later of not doing that. Retime mid. Notice how if I wanted to, I could instantly push this way. I'm gonna like keep driving this down. If I wanted to, I could instantly push this and like look for a roam, but I don't have ulti and I don't have flash, so if I roamed, I just die. So there's literally no point in me insta pushing this unless I'm going for like a play with my team. So here, like, I want to help my team get the vision around mid so that when my ult comes up, I can go for a roam. And here I keep pinging the enemy the pixel control bush, because I really need help killing this, because it, like, prevents me from doing any ward. Like, it gives Kiana so much safety, and it prevents me from doing any roaming bot, so. Unfortunately, our got DCs, but our Alistar goes and kills that ward, which is very nice. And so here I make the biggest mistake I made all game right now. So here I wanted to be a little bit quirky, I guess. That's the term I'll call it. So I queue this and I have my queue follow me back this way. And so it looks like I'm actually going for a roam bot. And we know that we just killed this control ward, so it looks very set up and telegraphed that I'm running bot. So that was the idea. And then I was gonna run top. Ooh, I really got him. However, what have I been saying for the past like 5 minutes? The past like 5 minutes I've been saying like how I don't want to roam against Kiana because she just roams better than me. Yeah, like I guess I just forgot. I just forgot that. And so one of the things that I think that I didn't figure out until maybe just now is that I think this control ward, there's a control ward in the pixel bush right here, because we can actually see Kiana path up like this. She actually hugs the wall and paths up like this. And if we were looking at her, I bet she would be following me. Yep, she follows me directly right here. And so this is just a pure mistake by me. Whatever I'm doing here is a pure mistake. Here I should buy CDR because my ulti's still still up. I could have got a reduced cooldown. But yeah, so that was just a really bad play by me. First of all, our Urgot was DC'd, so that's like one of the things that was bad about it. And second of all, we see Kiana following me, and we just talked about how we don't want to roam against Kiana unless it's like a good play and we have like prio. And then third is like they had a control ward in this bush, so they just saw me. So it was really bad. And then also fourth, it's like I'm against a Mordekaiser. Roaming against a Mordekaiser is like really, really, really stupid. So that was a very, very bad play by me, and I don't think I'll ever do that for a long time. And I think it's important that I realize like how bad that play was. Like that was so bad. During the game, I was like, man, like why did I just do that? Like I was winning lane so hard. Like I had full pressure whenever I wanted it. Like if I needed it, and then yeah, it was a little stupid. So here we see Kiana bot, so we can assume that someone else is going to be mid, probably Tristana. And here I'm thinking that I'm probably like going bot lane or something, because like if Kalista wanted mid, I'd give her mid and I just go bot, because I could just get the tower against Kiana, but that was not the case. Kalista just wanted to keep going bot. Here I'm just looking for wards. Luckily I get Rakan's ulti. He should not have ulted there after I flashed, so very fortunate for me, but that was another case where I used my flash, not my ulti, which was a weird situation. Trading my flash for Rakan ulti right before Dragon starts is actually very kind of beneficial for me and my team. So I think that was kind of interesting. And here I also didn't have the option to R, like because my R was coming up in 2 seconds. I keep like doing that where I have like my R in 5 seconds, and then I like try to go for a play or something. So a bit crazy that they always go in on me. I guess getting my R is like kind of good for them, so I don't blame them. But yeah, that was really. It was good that I used my flash and not my ult, Even though, I mean, I didn't have a choice, but like, my ult is so much more important right now. Here, unfortunately, that charm hits Rakan. I definitely shouldn't have gone in right there. Luckily, Sven misplays this a bit, I think. Yeah, I think Sven misplayed that a bit. He should have killed both of us, but luckily I lived. But I should not do this last R. This last R is literally stupid, dumb, idiot. I think the idea of this was good, but we didn't keep in mind Mordekaiser's TP and Fiora. Like, maybe we should have just let Fiora get top tower or something. But yeah, me R'ing in here was really dumb. But I think the Tristana expected me to run up this way, and that's why she jumped this way. But I ran down, which was very nice for me. Callista kinda also saves me, I guess. There I maybe could have gone for the blue steal, but I just wanted to make sure they didn't get mid tower, so that's kind of why I just ran back mid. And like, it might have been incorrect for Mordekaiser and Tristana to actually do dragon here, and instead they should try to kill mid tower, in my opinion. I think mid tower's more important. At least I think it's more important than going for dragon here. But I think you could argue either way. But yeah, I'm just gonna go B now. At this point, I really want to side lane. I don't really want to be mid anymore. One of the best things about Ahri is her side laning, because she can usually get pushed against most champions and then run to the fight. So I think ideally Callista was supposed to go mid here. It's not like Callista excels at the side lane though. Oh yeah, then Callista gets killed on the side lane. Right. Right. Apparently I think she wasn't paying attention though, so. It's a little bit of a weird TP. Alistar saves my life here. Alistar played that really, really well. Really, really well. Like, really well. Well played, Black Savon or whatever your name is. So here we know that Kiana was top. I remember Kiana like showing up here. And so I assume that she's just somewhere in there waiting for someone in a bush. That is what my assumption is. Unfortunately, they get mid tower here because Callista can't defend. Because I think Kiana's over here. Like, we don't. She should be top right now, and she's not. So. And there she is. So yeah, we were probably right on our assumptions. I ping it on my R. He fucking dies. Nice. Got kind of 1v9s there. This guy's autofill jungle, by the way. So I loved that for him. We get top tower. So that was kind of like breaking down that play is like, why are we going for this top lane play in the first place? Is like, because Tristana went B, we know that we have numbers advantage pretty much no matter what when we're going up here. And we're also just stronger than them. It's kind of the idea here. They're ignited because I missed my Q. I should never have to ignite there. Just a mistake. Then here, I don't know. Bit awkward for them. Nice, well played. Here I knew there was literally no way he could kill me because I have 110 armor and I'm level 13. So I was just like, okay, cool. Like even if he hits that other Q, I think I just kite out to my Alistar. So it's like very, very unfortunate for him. And I think at this point the game's pretty much done. I don't think there's much to say. I think I play one fight over here really well. Oh wait, oh we can talk about this fight. Okay. This is kind of important, I guess. So they push mid with Herald and the Dragon's coming up. Dragon's kind of their only win condition at this point. And here I just coded back up my Urgot. So one things that you want to do with Ahri or, you know, any like champion that has a lot of mobilities, you can kind of be a bit more flexible on how you position. And so going for multiple angles generally is better on champions like these. Whereas if you're playing a champion like Orianna or Syndra, trying to stay grouped with your team and like have a front line is more important. Whereas if you're champion like Ahri, if you have your R up, like if they go on you, you just R away, then your rest of your team like collapses on them. Or you're able to get like really good engages when they move into choke points or something like that. So here I'm pretty confident. And so here what I do is I just go in for the play. So one thing I do wrong here is I think the idea of going for this is actually correct, to just sacrifice myself to get an engage. However, I don't think I needed to R as close to Mordekaiser as I did. And maybe I could have just R'd Mordekaiser, or I mean charmed Mordekaiser without having to R in. Like right here, what if I just go for a charm right here? Like, I don't actually have to R in here. All I knew is I wanted to start this fight because it's a 5v4 and we like for sure win this fight is the idea. It's like, I was like, as long as we get an engage, we can win this fight. So I was like, okay, I'll just engage. um, and then right here, what I think I should do is I should R down here into the dragon pit and then I can R over the wall and I'm like full health probably. So like I could, if I R'd down here initially, and then I R'd over here, then I R'd over here, I would have like so much time to maneuver however I wanted. So I think that was the biggest mistake of it. So I didn't use my mobile. Oh, I guess it's Mountain Soul, so I couldn't actually R over this wall. Normally there's a wall right here, but maybe I can R over this and then R over here. So, but yeah, didn't use my mobility to my advantage, and I think I kind of get Callista killed as well because maybe if I play better, then Mordekaiser doesn't end up in that spot. But regardless, we still won the fight and we get the dragon, so it's still like a win for us, but it definitely could have been better. So here's where I was talking about where I can get pressure top and then run mid, or pressure bot and run mid. Like, it's very, very easy for Ahri to do that, as long as you're not too behind. And then we have the game-winning fight coming up. So they saw me at Baron, I killed their ward. Alistar gets a nice engage, and here I go for a nice charm on the Lilia. We kill her before she ults or stopwatches or anything. Land a perfect Q, land a perfect charm. Everything was perfect that fight. Everything. We'll just watch it one more time. I'm normally very critical of myself in team fights. Like there's always something that I could do better, but I think this was almost played perfectly, which is like very rare. Like I don't think I've ever played a perfect fight like this. I think. So I was really happy about that. Like I'm in the control ward, he doesn't see the charm, and I get the charm on Lilia, we kill her. I save ignite, there's no reason for me to ignite. I bait the Rakan in. Like obviously I could dodge this, but there's literally no reason for me to dodge it. And then I go for the R here. I see Kiana ulting, I R behind her, and I throw my Q because she has to go in, and I throw it where she has to go in. And then I R forward and go for the charm, which this one's kind of luck based. I didn't actually know if he was gonna juke back or like juke this way or juke this way, but kind of just got lucky this time. But yeah, I was really happy after I played that fight. I was like, dang, I might be pretty good, I guess. And then here I just push mid, and since I don't really do Baron damage, I just get the mid tower and they get the Baron. And then they FF. So, yeah. Um, I say good job, King, to our Urgot. he was amazed he won autofill jungle, so I was like, good job, King. Um, but yeah, I think the biggest key takeaways, I know I didn't use my epic pin that much, I kind of forgot, but it's like, don't push, don't auto shove first assassins to prevent roams, um, buy items to your goal OALS, whatever. So like I didn't buy boots because my goal wasn't to roam. My goal was to stomp or like do good in lane. Um, I then like I want to say something about like yeah. I mean this is kind of like I literally made this mistake in the game. So yeah, learn from my mistake. Um, I think my warding is like watch better, watch where jungler starts because I think that my ward like I did two fake plays where I fake warded over here, then I fake roam down here, and I think they're good and higher elos, but I don't think they actually did anything this game, so it was kind of just a waste of time on both. So, and then whenever I'm going for roams, I should be watching my laner, especially if I ward the middle of the lane right there. That's really, really, really dumb of me. Um, but other than that, like that was a pretty solid game for me. Really happy how I played this. I mean, this is probably the second or third best mid laner in NA, even though he doesn't like play a ton of Kiana. You know, he's like a Victor Oriana player, Syndra, but like he's still a very good mid laner, and so I was really happy on how I played against him because I think there was one time I did solo kill him and two other times where it was like I pretty much did, but I like slightly misplayed. But it was like I had the right idea, I had the right build up to it, and so very happy about that. Anyways, make sure to check out my montage, and that'll be it for me. I will see you guys later. Peace.